Okay, class, let us look at this lesson. It's about distributive property and some of the properties we learn about the exponent, the sum of exponent, of course, while multiplying. Now, what we want to do here, let's look at the product of two binomials, 2x minus 5 times 4x plus 3. In order to do that properly, if you do know FOIL, by the way, that is perfectly fine, given that you're not going to mess this up. However, if you have a lack of understanding, please follow the step by steps so you can actually complete this. Once you get used to it, you can do it on your own. And if you have observed any particular pattern, you can follow that too. Now to start, we're going to take the first term from the first binomial, which is 2x times everything in the second binomial. So we will have 2x times the expression 4x plus 3. So we do the same thing for the second term from the first binomial. So we're going to have plus, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be negative 5 times the expression for x plus 3. Now, we do know how to multiply a binomial by a monomial, of course. So we're going to do that process in this case. Basically, we're going to repeat that process a couple of times. So we end up with 2x times 4x plus 2x again times 3. And we continue with plus and negative 5 times 4x, and of course plus one more time we have negative 5 times 3. Ladies and gentlemen, notice that every time I follow through I have the plus sign because the negative sign belongs to a number. Alright, now I am multiplying 2 times 4, the coefficients of 2x and 4x. Because I'm multiplying here, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to have like terms to do so. I multiply the coefficients and add the exponents. And I follow through with 2x times 3. This is going to be 6x. And we have the rest, which is negative 20x and negative 15. Alright, now we're going to multiply 2 times 4. That gives us 8. And 1 plus 1 is 2. And if you refer to the top again, notice when there's no exponent, there's always a 1 there. So we bring the rest down. So we have negative 6x plus a negative 20. That gives us, ladies and gentlemen, because 6x and negative 20x are like terms, we combine them. So we end up with a final answer of 8x squared minus 14x minus 15. That's what you ought to have. Now let us look at another example. X minus 7 and negative 3x plus 1. So we end up with, follow the same protocol, the first term of the first binomial, multiply everything in the second binomial. We repeat with a plus, and negative 7 multiply everything in the second binomial, which is negative 3x plus 1. And ladies and gentlemen, we apply the distributive property from there. And x times negative 3x plus x times 1. Then we have plus negative 7 times negative 3x. And we have again plus negative 7 times 1. So in this case, we follow. Notice that the x has a coefficient of 1 and negative 3x, of course, has a coefficient of negative 3. Both of them have an exponent of 1. So we follow through in this manner. So do not forget the exponents. So we have now the next term is 1x plus negative 7 times negative 3, which is positive 21x, and negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we have 1 times negative 3, of course, that gives us negative 3. Then the exponent, which is 1 plus 1, gives us 2. And Since 1x and 21x are like terms, we combine them. So 1 plus 21 equals 22, of course, and we're going to carry the negative 7 down with us. This is how you find the product of two binomial. All right, now I would like you to try this by yourself. So try this by yourself and let's see what you have. All right, your answers for these things should have been as follows. If you did not have this, see where you went wrong and make the corrections or ask questions. So this would end up as 2c times c plus 2c times 7 plus negative 3 times c plus negative 3 times 7. And we get, of course, the coefficient, the product of the coefficient, the sum of the exponent for the first term, and we get 14c minus 3c minus 21. And the final answer you should have should be 2c squared and plus 11c minus 21. Make sure look at the steps we have here to see where did you go wrong, if you have anything wrong at all. Very good job. Now, let's look at the second one. This is what your answer should have been. Notice the distributive property is applied every single time. Now the 6n is going to be distributed to 3n plus 2, and 1 is going to be distributed to 3n plus 2 as well. So we have it as follows. Very good. Now we follow the protocol by multiplying the coefficients and add the exponents again. Yes, and the rest comes down. Notice that 12n and 3n are like terms, so we're going to combine them right here. So the final product end up 18n squared plus 15n plus 2. All right, now I would like you to complete this and turn it in to me. This is indeed for a grade. All right, if you have any questions so far, please talk in your group at your table. Thank you.